Hello everybody, welcome to Elite Weather. I am meteorologist Mr. G back with you guys again. I apologize that it's been a few days since we had a video. Mr. G has a lot of schoolwork this summer, and so that's been keeping me busy with things here. But we're going to be talking about that weather forecast for this weekend, as well as the upcoming 4th of July weekend. So just to let everybody know, I am going to be away from town. My wife and I were celebrating our 15th wedding anniversary on the 4th of July. So we will be on a cruise to Alaska. So we are heading out tomorrow, and we won't be back until about the 8th or 9th of July. So we won't see any videos here until about the 9th of July. So thank you guys for joining me tonight on tonight's video as we talk about this weekend and the holiday that is coming up. So let's jump into our forecast here, and we're going to be talking about some severe weather across the Midwest. We got a very large swath of severe potential tomorrow across the Midwest, where we can see another derecho take place, where we saw a derecho yesterday, and we're going to talk about that derecho in just a moment here. But we can see the potential for some severe weather from parts of eastern Colorado all the way across the Midwest and into the Appalachian Mountain Range. We can see that severe weather take place tomorrow. We're going to see thunderstorms from the central and northern plains all the way across the East Coast into the Northeast, New England, down the mid-Atlantic states, into the Southeast, and parts of the Gulf Coast as well. So that includes the states of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and into Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and the state of Maine. We can also see thunderstorms through parts of southern Wisconsin, Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, and Colorado. So a lot of folks have the potential for thunderstorms for your day on Saturday. Beautiful weather across the Pacific Northwest, and I'm happy for that. That it's going to be clear and sunny across the Pacific Northwest as we have that flight into Seattle tomorrow as we head out for our cruise on Saturday morning. And beautiful weather will take place across the southwestern U.S. and the West Coast. Very warm weather across the West. Very warm across Texas once again. That heat is going to begin to make its way to the east later on, and we're going to talk about that as well. So here is what your Saturday is going to look like. We have that potential for severe weather across the eastern United States here, the Appalachian Mountain Range. We can see that severe weather and some heavy rain across the Midwest. So southern Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, parts of Kansas, parts of Iowa, we can see some very heavy rainfall with some thunderstorms, and scattered thunderstorms will occur across North Dakota and into portions of Montana and Wyoming. And we can see some of those severe thunderstorms over here through western Texas, Oklahoma, through the state of Kansas, as well as Nebraska, as we have a storm system moving across the parts of the central plains and into the Midwest, and that's going to be bringing that heavy rain and severe weather out toward the eastern sections of the United States as we head into your Sunday. But again, a beautiful day on Saturday across the western half of the United States. We're going to see that very warm weather across the Southwest, and beautiful temperatures and weather across the Pacific Northwest as well. Now let's talk about our holiday weekend outlook here Saturday, July 1st, in some select cities across the country. We're going to be seeing those temperatures very warm out there. We're going to see those upper 80s across the upper Midwest and in the Great Lakes, 80s into the Great Lakes as well. And we're going to see those temperatures about 80 degrees on the Northeast and New England as well for New York City. And we're going to see some thunderstorms down here across the South. So Atlanta, places like Atlanta, and into Kentucky and Tennessee, southern Illinois and Indiana, we can see those showers and thunderstorms. And especially here through Nebraska, we can see some heavy rainfall and severe thunderstorms. But we're going to see those temperatures in the upper 90s down there across Texas, and those 90s is going to extend eastward into Atlanta, where we can see some thunderstorms. And thunderstorms is going to be possible down in Miami with a high of 87 on your Saturday. And on the East Coast, look at that, 84 for Los Angeles. Very beautiful weather for Southern California. Those 60s up in the Bay Area, San Francisco, and those temperatures in the 70s in the Pacific Northwest for your Saturday. So then on Sunday, we're going to be seeing much of the same across the country. 85 down in Southern California with those temperatures in the lower to mid 70s in the Pacific Northwest. And then across the northern Rockies, we're going to be seeing those temperatures in the mid 80s up there in Billings, Montana. And check out that 91 for Minneapolis on Sunday. I'm glad I won't be where it's going to be that hot this week. So 91 for you folks in Minneapolis with thunderstorms possible. And you guys can enjoy that because I'm going to be far away from here. St. Louis is going to see a high of 85 degrees with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. It's going to be hot down in Dallas with a high of 93 on your Sunday, and hot with a thunderstorm in Miami with a high of 88, 94 in Atlanta with some showers and thunderstorms possible, 81 in New York City with some showers and thunderstorms possible as well. So that is what your Sunday is going to look like. Now Monday, as we get on July 3rd, so we're going to be seeing that severe weather continue across the eastern United States. So Boston, Atlanta, Miami, going to see those potential for showers and thunderstorms, but it's going to be much drier across the Midwest as high pressure builds in from the southwest, and we're going to be seeing those temperatures in the 90s as the heat starts to spread to the north and east. Look at that, 93 for Minneapolis, 91 in St. Louis, 95 in Dallas, Fort Worth. So very dry weather. So very dry weather for you folks that we're going to be seeing there for your day on Monday. And look at those temperatures in the 70s again in the Pacific Northwest, and that 82 down there in LA. And we're going to be seeing that temperature of 114 degrees in Phoenix. Wow, it is starting to get hot. Better late than never, I guess you could say. A late start to the heat across the desert Southwest. That 114 degrees in the desert Southwest in the hot city of Phoenix. So the city of the rising sun there. So for the holiday itself, July 4th, look at that, 112 for the folks over there in Phoenix, 95 with a thunderstorm in Dallas, Fort Worth. So finally, some rainfall across Texas, potentially a slight chance of some thunderstorms. And again, another shot at a thunderstorm across the southeast in Atlanta, where it's going to be 90 degrees, 89 in Miami. So Florida, we can see some showers and thunderstorms, and showers and thunderstorms in the northeast. So the New York City to Boston, we're going to see those temperatures in the low to mid 80s with some thunderstorms possible for your area. Thunderstorms will be possible across the upper Midwest and Minnesota as well. Minneapolis, once again, it's going to be hot, but maybe a slight chance of a thunderstorm over that way. So that is what your holiday weekend and holiday will look like. But let's talk about some active severe weather watches right now for your Thursday. We do have a tornado watch over the Rockies, so Colorado and parts of Wyoming and western New Mexico, western Nebraska. We're looking at a tornado watch in effect across those areas. And then over here across the south, we are seeing some severe thunderstorm watch in place over parts of south of Louisville, Kentucky, so Frankfort, and into parts of just north of Nashville here, and here's Evansville, Indiana. We are also looking at southern Illinois, where we have the potential for some severe thunderstorms, as there is a severe thunderstorm in effect, a severe thunderstorm watch in effect across that area. So here's that severe thunderstorm that derecho. This is some of the lightning from last night's derecho across the Midwest. Check out that storm as it roared out of Missouri and Iowa and raced across Illinois and into Indiana and brought out that severe weather, heavy rain with some very large hail. 100-mile-per-hour winds also occurred with that line of severe thunderstorms across the Midwest. Here's a shot of that storm as it comes out of Iowa into Illinois and Indiana. There it is. You can see that blow echo right there as it blows across the Midwest and brought all of that severe weather. We had a lot of tree damage and some damage from hail and those damaging winds. So we saw those 110-mile-an-hour winds. We saw Category 3 hurricane strength from those winds from that derecho movement across the upper Midwest. Check out the thunderstorms that was moving through Tennessee. These storms formed as a result of the outflow coming from our derecho. As that derecho moved to the east into that more unstable air, the outflow of that kicked up some air around it, caused more thunderstorms to develop to the south and move to the south through Tennessee and into parts of Georgia and Alabama. And then check out all of this. This is smoke from the fires coming out of Canada. And as you can see, as our storm comes through, it kind of cleared out the smoke in and around the storm, but you're seeing that smoke from the fires coming out of Canada. So much of the eastern United States is under the influence of the smoke coming out of the Canadian wildfires. And here we go, as we're going to see that severe storm threat moving across the Midwest today. And we're going to, for your Friday, we're going to see those severe thunderstorms from eastern Colorado into Kansas, Nebraska, southern Iowa, northern Missouri, central Illinois, southern Indiana, southern Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and into Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and northeastern Alabama all have that risk of being affected by a potential derecho tomorrow in those regions. So be on the lookout for that, because we can see very rapidly changing weather conditions. Winds could be in excess of 60 miles per hour, large 2-inch diameter hail or larger, excessive rainfall and some flash flooding could occur as well. And these could be very fast moving thunderstorms. And as you can look at the shape of how this is going to travel, because we have a very large area of high pressure over Texas and the deep south, and this is the periphery of that ridge of high pressure. So we do have a storm system that's kind of what's called an inside slider. We have high pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, but there's just enough space in there for a frontal boundary to squeeze on through there and generate some of those severe thunderstorms across the Midwest. We see that strong westerly flow that's going to push those thunderstorms, that forward momentum that could cause some of these storms to travel at a speed in excess of 70 miles an hour. So we're talking about thunderstorms that could travel at highway speed. So if you're on I-80 or I-70 going from Colorado through towards Illinois and Indiana, we talk about some storms that can basically keep up or even outrun you on the highway. So you might want to pay close attention to the weather conditions tomorrow if you're traveling through the Midwest. But down in the south, it's down and dirty, it's hot, it's really humid as well. Down in Texas and through parts of the deep south, the lower to middle Mississippi River Valley, the southern Appalachian Mountain Range. So we're talking about Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, East Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma. We have heat advisories, excessive heat warnings in place. We're going to be looking at high temperatures approaching 100 degrees. Heat indexes up to 115, maybe 120 degrees, and we're going to see almost 80 million people affected by the excessive heat down across the south. And here we are as we talk about that heat. We're going to be seeing those heat indexes, record high temperatures for Friday, potentially Little Rock, Arkansas, Jefferson City, Missouri, Meridian, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, Austin, Texas, where we can see high temperature records potentially in the upper 90s to lower 100. So very hot across the South tomorrow, and we're going to see that heat across the South once again as we move through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Look at those temperatures in the mid to upper 90s, near 100 degrees. Memphis, you will crack that century point, and you will crack it in Dallas as well. So very hot down across the South, the Southern Plains, and the South as we head into the weekend. We do got some action going on across the tropics. In the Pacific this time, we got Tropical Storm Adrian and Tropical Storm Beatrice to talk about, both off the coast of Mexico, both fairly close together. Kind of rare to see two tropical systems that close to each other. But let's take a look at what's going on with these tropical storms as we have to talk about Beatrice first, as we are seeing maximum wind speeds of about 40 miles per hour. So it is a minimum tropical storm, and we're going to be seeing it moving to the northwest at 12 miles an hour. So we're definitely going to be seeing heavy rain down across southeastern Mexico. So Guadalajara, some of those places might see some heavy rain or some effects from this tropical system, and that is going to be moving off to the north and northwest, but it's going to be very close to the Mexican mainland. And then here's a look at Tropical Storm Beatrice as far as its direction is going to go. Again, it's going to make landfall right here before going back out over to the sea and brushing across Cabo San Lucas in Baja California. But we're going to be seeing a very slow a strengthening as it moves off to the northwest, as we see those winds get up to hurricane strength, 75 miles an hour. So we will see it potentially become a Category 1 hurricane before weakening as we head into the holiday on Tuesday. And if you are traveling to Mexico for the holiday, remember tropical storm watches. Hurricane warning is also in effect, and a tropical storm warning down across Mexico because of Tropical Storm Beatrice. Now we have Hurricane Adrian. Hurricane Adrian is a Category 1 storm with 80 mile an hour winds, but we will see it rapidly begin to weaken as it moves off to the west into the weekend, and by Tuesday it will be down to 25 miles an hour. It's not going to affect any land masses, just going to affect shipping interests. So maybe some cargo ships, cruise ships that may be headed out towards Hawaii might have to worry about this tropical storm. So that is a look at the tropics across the country and down to the south there. My name is Mr. G. Thank you for checking me out today, and I will see you guys again on the 9th when I get back home from my cruise to Alaska. Looking forward to it. Got to go finish packing and getting ready. So I will see you guys later. Remember, leave your likes, comments, and subscribe. Bye-bye.